Hey everybody, Jimmy from the Gaming Gadget Grader bringing you another review. This is the Zagg Messenger Folio tablet keyboard and case for the iPad Air Generation 3, the 10.5-inch iPad Pro as well. So here's a look at the case. So it's a case and keyboard. So here you'll find the keyboard and then obviously the case itself. The case has a stand. This is one of the things that's kind of clunky to me, is that this case has this little ribbon back here, and that's what allows you to extend it different lengths. But I have kind of like a laptop keyboard setup where I don't have to do this, and so this was just kind of a little, I don't know, it wasn't really my favorite thing to remember to do, but I did like the ability to have it sit up at different angles and kind of be secure. You know, you can go all the way down to that, or you can go all the way up to something like that. So obviously a good viewing angles here for this. So the keyboard claims to have a 3-month battery life. I don't know if you can read that right there, but on the box it says 3-month battery life. I've had it for, you know, probably a month now, and I don't have any sort of, you know, like, there's this battery indicator here, and I don't know exactly where I'm supposed to be seeing that the battery is something, I don't know, but the battery on the keyboard still works just fine. So, you know, all in all, yeah, I do think that this is going to have a nice big battery life. Who knows, it may die later today. I'm not exactly sure. As you see, the keys are underlit, so they're underlit with blue. You know, no functionality to change any of that, which is okay. I mean, that's fine. The normal keys here to turn it on and off, like if you wanted to say lock the keys up. Anyway, there was an initial pairing button here, and then all your normal keys. You got your volume, you see your volume there at the top changing, your play pause for media, opening up keyboards, opening up a browser, different tabs based on apps you have open, escape, all that normal keyboard stuff, and it all charges through a USB micro that you can see kind of right there here in the side. Now the case itself is very slick. I think this is a much more professional looking thing than the other one I had, and that's fine. I don't think the other one was a bad look. I didn't review it because I actually, you know, I did purchase it, but I think that there's still some, I don't know. I felt a little more secure with the other one. It didn't have a screen protector, but I just felt like the iPad sat a little more in the case. And now the big reason I say that is this entire top half, this bezel right here of the iPad is fully exposed. So I know it would take a lot for something to hit in there, but the entire iPad and subsequently the screen is exposed right here to here. Now it is inset, you know, obviously the iPad's in, there's a nice, you know, it protects the screen from getting hit or anything like that. And obviously, you know, when you close it in here, you know, it is pretty secure inside of that. But this is not by any stretch of the imagination anything rugged. We did do a quick little review of the Rugged book, which is probably a much, for me, because I have a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, now a 5-year-old. This is much more a desirable thing to have in regard to drops and things like that. But this is about the Messenger Folio, where you'd like to think adults are using it and therefore are a little more careful with it. So, you know, if you're rugged on it, I don't know that this is going to always hold up to the beat downs. That you could give it in a bag or, you know, on the go if you're carrying it a lot. You know, like this. Around the house, I've been fine. I think that this is fine. You know, the stand is nice and secure. You know, if anything, it's just going to fall back, and I think that's fine, or fall forward. I think that's fine. You know, all the holes, everything is exposed. You know, the camera has a nice slot for it. I can get to volume just fine. And then obviously the full face of the iPad is exposed, so you can get to the home button and do the things you need to do. The front-facing camera is just fine there as well. It's got a spot for the Apple Pencil, the first generation, if you were using the pencil. If not, obviously you can put pens or pencils in there as well. I'm not sure why you would, but you can put other devices or rather other things in there, if you want, if you have anything for a touchscreen, to put in there as well. But I don't have a pencil, but that's a place where you can put it. They talk about it being lightweight and easy to carry. I do think so. Obviously, the iPad carries its own weight, and so the case itself isn't much heavier than the iPad. The keyboard, has weight to it, as it should. Obviously, because that battery and then the keys as well. The keyboard, the one thing I did really like about the keyboard is you get great feedback. And a lot of people talk about that when it comes to like, gaming keyboards and things like that, where you get nice feedback and, it's not crunchy or it's too soft, but you get nice feedback when you're typing. So you can really get into the groove of typing and using this as a keyboard. A lot of times when you use somebody else's keyboard or you don't use a keyboard a lot, it's kind of like you end up resulting back to just hunting and pecking, when I do think that these keys are spaced out enough, big enough, where you can really get into the groove of, the traditional typing that you would do on a keyboard. So this really does allow this iPad to serve as a laptop and be the on-the-go thing you probably wanted it to be, as well as being a decent case. This is not a case. This is definitely more of a keyboard than a case, but it is definitely a keyboard case. I don't feel super secure about taking this on the go or handing it to my 5-year-old, but for me to use as an adult, I do think that the combination of a really good keyboard and some decent security here on this iPad is something worth looking at here from Zagg. So again, this is the Zagg Messenger Folio tablet keyboard and case for iPad Air 3rd generation and the 10.5-inch iPad Pro. Anyway, thanks Zagg for sending this to us. An honor to take a look at it, and we appreciate you watching The Gaming Gadget Grader.